Okay. Typhoon spec, this is Fang and Sabretooth. It's good. Honestly, it's high HP. I'm going to avoid Elite spec again. I don't prefer Elite spec personally. I think Elite spec is maybe something you can veto most of the time yourself. I think Elite spec is great for certain styles, but they're very stylistic. I think overall, on average, as an average specialist, it's something you should probably avoid. I've said that a lot. I used it before. I'll continue avoiding. Unless I'm doing something specific, like I want to do a carry of like a build where I'm trying to scale units like crazy, like mass Arclights or mass Marksman or something like that. Okay, so we have Amplify spec as our opponent. We have health loss here. Amplify spec usually tends to have high starts, but we're really close. We're at 4,800 versus 5k. It's a super close game already. We have Arclights and we have Sledgehammers. We could use Chaff Clear as Typhoon. So we don't need to really worry about getting Chaff Clear because Typhoon could be my Chaff Clear. We don't have it round 1. So I would say if we're not going to have Chaff Clear round 1, let's try to make sure our Fangs... Let's put our army together rather than spreading out, just so my army doesn't take forever to kill crawlers if the crawlers exist. So we'll put a Saber, let's go ahead and put like a Fang and Saber kind of like a bit of a spread here. Let's stay more on the side. Yeah, maybe more like this. Just keep them a little bit tighter. We'll have these things spread out a little bit so that I don't have things like... You don't ever want to do stuff like that. The reason why you don't want to do stuff like this is because someone puts a missile device there and then all of it dies. Big wasted investment. And then you lose a big chunk of your army for the round. So having your units spread out a little bit, at the very least, helps start rounds off better for you. Let's go ahead... Grab ourselves a crawler and maybe one more Fang. Put our Fang like over here on the other tower, and we'll put a crawler pack behind one of our Sabers so that it comes out and protects us further. Now we have... Our army is really about Saber DPS currently again, and it's going to have Typhoon Chaff Clear. Typhoons are not going to have a great time on this board that much because he doesn't have a lot of chaff. He has 2 Fangs, and again, it's Fangs. So they're slow. My Typhoons have to really run in deep to get on top of those things. But it's fine. It's not the end of the world. It's not that bad. It's just Typhoon kind of gets worse if your opponent plays far back. But there are ways you can abuse people that play like this. So if our opponent plays really far back like this, one thing we could do as well to add to our army to make the idea of chaff more appealing in the front, which makes Typhoons better because they're great against chaff, would be like if we add a Stormcaller siege that he should protect himself from. Something like that could be great. So we have extended range sledge, we have a laser sight, we have smart arclight, improved wraith. I think we'll do laser sights, and I think we'll just for now I think we'll get a Stormcaller. I think I'll put laser sight on the Stormcaller. I'll do it there. I'll kill the middle Arclight, and then I'll have it like splash into the sledges and stuff. Actually, we can't do it. I can't do a Stormcaller yet. Here's why. I want to upgrade my Saber. I bought the device for laser sights. I do not have enough money to recruit 2 deployments if I buy something that costs 200, which is what a Stormcaller costs. So we're going to go down into 2 100 cost deployments instead. I'll get one more Fang behind my tower, and I'll get one more Crawler behind my Saber, and I'll actually save my range device. I don't want to sell my Sabers. So like if I put a laser sight on a Saber like that, the only way to get it off once I start the round is to sell it. So I'm going to undo that and not apply that and keep it so that I can put this on a Typhoon, because I do think on this board specifically, a Typhoon's going to have a problem with range. But Stormcaller is still seeming like a very good option. And we can see more Fangs are on the left. He's really fanging up. So these Sabers are really getting bogged down by Fangs forever. Chaff good against DPS. We don't have Chaff clear because we're going Typhoon, and Typhoon costs 300. which is very expensive. But now it's another example of Typhoon, and now we don't really have to worry about anti-air either, as long as our Typhoons start actually having some success. But we can clearly see we just had a massive problem there with Chaff. So needing a Typhoon is necessary, or something that can help kill Chaff. And making him make more Chaff is also not a bad idea. All right, this time, we don't have any anti-air yet. Typhoon will struggle with a Wraith right off the bat if it's level 1 and the Wraith is level 2. Wraith can outscale Typhoon with armor and be annoying for a little bit. So let's chill out on that. Let's maybe think about the fact that Wraith can be a problem for us if we're going to focus mostly on the Typhoons. And think about what can kill the Wraith in this drop. And I think the best thing that can kill it is either a Wraith myself or a Phantom Ray. And I'm really feeling like a Phantom Ray, just so that I can really like burst down a Wraith. And like the Phantom Ray have such high... Phantom Ray have the highest DPS air versus air on this list by default, with no upgrades. Like they're just really strong. And they're also level 3, which means I'm also outscaling the Wraith there a little bit. Fortress is nice, but I have a Sabertooth. I don't really care about a Fortress. I have the DPS to kill everything on here except for the Wraith, but if I take the Phantom Ray, I then have the DPS to kill the Wraith. So thinking about it like that, like what do I need? What makes sense for me? And a Phantom Ray probably makes the most sense right now. And I think we should put the Phantom Ray physically on the left side, like just right there, so that we have the, you know, cover now on that side. Let's also... I'm going to one more time consider doing what I just said a second ago with some Stormcaller, just because I want this guy to make more Chaff. I'm going to put the range device for now on the Phantom Ray, and I'll most likely be selling them for... I do want to sell the Phantom Ray because I am going to go into Typhoon. So he went Marksman, which is good versus Phantom Ray. He did not go Wraith. He just bought Marksman himself. That was not a card drop. He physically just bought 3 Marksmen. So now look at the Stormcallers. Stormcaller helping a lot with killing some Fangs, but also we're actually killing his Arclights and we're killing his actual DPS units a lot earlier in the fight now because we're sieging in him and he has no Chaff in the front. He has a Phantom Ray group flanking my tower, but we already won left side, so that's great for us. So this Paralyze doesn't really hurt us at all. And we're now paralyzing him. And we should be able to overpower his Phantom Ray with our Phantom Ray, or maybe our Fangs. There you go. Phantom Ray getting some kills. Good stuff. All right, so I don't... If he gets anti-missile, he gets anti-missile. You know, these are investments. If he doesn't, he doesn't. But really, what I want him to do is I want him to think it's a good idea to make more squads in front of his army. I want to feel good about making Typhoons, because if I make Typhoons into this, they're going to just be running forward, killing nothing until they get to, like, big units, and they might die against Marksmen if they don't have enough protection. So this is not necessarily the best Typhoon board that could exist right now. I think for this round, we're going to take advanced offensive tactics. I need damage for Typhoons to be good. Remember what I just said about my like the armor idea, the armor concept, how the level 2 Wraith could outscale my my Typhoons with armor? Well, he got the Phantom Ray just like I did, and he has armor on it too. It's not activated yet, but it could be. So that's scary. So let's actually respect that by getting damage to make sure I don't have a problem with that. Improved Wasp is also very good. But I'm just going to do Typhoons just because I think Typhoons are fun. And I'm going to allow myself to do them instead. Let's get air spec on Typhoon as well. Let's really just make sure I don't lose to the Phantom Ray on the right side right now. Let's make sure this Typhoon really just crushes this fight. We're also putting it in a way where it covers the right quadrant, but it does it at max range away from the Phantom Ray. I want to latch onto it with my Phantom Rays, or I want to latch onto the Phantom Ray really fast with my Typhoon. But I do not want to be like in his face and then just instantly die. It's going to take a while for my Typhoons to win this fight, so I want to stay a little safe as well for myself. And let's give ourselves like another Fang, like up here, that just more Chaff again, that just protects us. You can see he made more Chaff here to pressure the tower. I'm working on the Typhoons. I might lose that tower. The Typhoon is currently engaging... Oh my god, the Fangs are holding. Fangs are kind of holding the tower? No, not quite. But the Typhoon almost levels up, so that Typhoon should be level 2 next round. But now I can get it. Now I see what's going on, right? Like, what was the problem that round? The Paralyze. Like, if you don't know what the problem was, the problem absolutely was me getting paralyzed. If you get paralyzed and a fight is currently happening, you should, like, be sounding all the sirens and alarms in your brain that make you think things are not going right, because the Paralyze is not supposed to happen. You should not be getting paralyzed. So our opponent just made elite recruited crawlers on the line to pressure my tower with. Those are level 2 crawlers. You can tell because they're a different color. They're blue. And you can, if you're not sure either, you can click them and you can see, oh, level 2. Oh, level 2. He elite recruited these things and is rushing me with those. And that makes me feel great for Typhoons. That's, the higher level a unit is, the more experience they also give to a unit that kills them. So I now get to level really fast on all this high level stuff on the other side of the board here. So I feel good about that. I feel pretty nice. I think for the sake of what we can use here that would probably be really nice for us is probably steel balls. I think our board needs some kind of engage for my Typhoons to not die. We have some chaff, obviously, but I think our Typhoons really could use some help here because his board is so siege heavy, so backline, so midline, and it's very slow. All of his units are slow. The only things that are fast are the things that are in front here. So I think if we get steel balls, it really allows my... I think this allows my Typhoons to not be so pressured. We'll get one on each side. These things will rush out the middle so they won't get distracted by a flank. Let's get another Typhoon here that covers the front. And let's get another Typhoon over here that kind of covers this area as well. And we'll get one more Typhoon, guys. That also covers this area. So, quadrant, left quadrant, covered. Middle left quadrant, like the middle area, but the left side of it covered, where like these units have some exposure where there's no chaff clear in this whole area, but now we have chaff clear. Right side, these Typhoons are a little bit tighter together because there is Phantom Ray there, but now we're covered from the Phantom Ray and we're covered from the crawlers that are paralyzing my tower. For now. He might add more things and it could become problems for us, right? But at least for right this second, this round, we're covered. And steel balls are coming out as well to protect us from... you know, things on the line. Allow our Typhoon to have some protection. Our right Typhoon in the flank just leveled up. So now we are scaling up to be able to manage that Typhoon better. Left Typhoons are killing all the chaff. They're allowing my Stormcrawlers to be effective. There's an anti-missile device that if I could kill it, that would be negative 100 resources for my opponent. That costs 100 to buy that thing. He put it really far in the back, which is nice for him, so it doesn't actually die. But his army's really far back, so it should be in the back too, right? All right, we have a enhancement module. We have efficient light. I feel like enhancement module is kind of expensive, but it's also kind of insane. And this Typhoon specifically has such a good location to farm XP in. So I think I'm actually going to take an enhancement module, and I'm going to put it on... I'm just gonna, yeah, I'll just put it on here. I could level something up and then sell it, but I don't, like, because you, what I could do, for instance, is I could take a field recovery. I could put it on I could put this thing on a Stormcaller, level what costs 100 right here. This thing costs 100 normally to promote, and I could promote all of them for now 100 as well. But if I specifically click this one, I could upgrade it for 0, and then I could sell it, and I spent nothing on that. So I'm not necessarily going to do that yet. I don't want to do that. It's okay. That's more technical gameplay. You could do it. It's part of the device, but I could also do... I buy this device for 300. It has HP and damage on it. I put it on a unit that takes 150 per upgrade, and now it takes 0. So I level this thing twice. It pays for itself. Everything after that really pays for it. Gives me money back. I'll leave the Phantom Ray for now. It's okay. They're helping with DPS right now. I think it's going to be okay. I'll get Mechanical Rage this round. Let's get more chaff. Again, we need time. He's really developing the right side of the front of the board. So let's make sure we don't break to that. Let's also get something in the back left for my Typhoons on the other side. And now we just have more chaff helping these steel balls to tank and also helping these Typhoons to tank. He's nuking us. Okay. That's an expensive thing to do. Our Typhoon scaled up a little bit, so it's killing the Phantom Rays in the bottom right way faster. We're getting nuked on left. It's going... Everything on left is going to get killed here. But now right side is still holding pretty hard. Right side's doing a great job. Steel balls are almost making it to the tower. We got through most of his units. And again, this round, you can kind of write it off. We just got nuked. So that doesn't really represent very well how good left side does. It's a nuke round. That's a 350 cost spell that he just purchased to kill me with. And I'm very happy if I'm able to kill most of the round in the process. And we killed... there's some units obviously left over, but we did kill quite a bit of it, so I feel okay about that. Okay, we'll go ahead and get advanced power systems. He's got a very backline army that I would like to push into it pretty hard. We're not yet, but I'll just take advanced power systems. We'll go ahead and get that started. This round now, yeah, I guess we actually can just say screw it. Let's just sell off the Phantom Ray. Let's put this range device. I want to have one of these Typhoons really like getting a little bit more strong, a little faster. This round, with all this money we have, let's get Typhoons that now not only... We have 2 device Typhoons here, but let's make sure they're getting as much XP as possible. Let's give these things Homing Missile. Homing Missile is just like an ability they can shoot off automatically every 9 seconds, and it just does 675 damage per level, per missile, and they shoot 4 missiles. So it's basically a nice chunk of burst damage to shoot into units that are like tankier. Like he's going for like mass Farseers now. And against mass Farseer as well, I feel like it wouldn't be a horrible idea to let's do this. Let's get 3 fangs. Let's get a fang here. Let's get a fang here. Let's get a fang here. And now on all fangs, let's get barrier on fang. Let's also get movement speed on everybody. And the reason why I just did that is because his Farseers have burst mode on. Their attack speed is going to be a lot slower. And we're going to make fangs now that take 2 hits to kill that are going to just take a lot longer to die. Like, we have so many fangs that are just going to absorb a lot of this DPS from the Farseer. And it really just makes my my stronger units last a lot longer. And once my Typhoons level up a few times, giving them more levels with their missiles they have now are really going to crush these. Anything that's strong, like Farseer, for instance. But yeah, just understanding, right? Like, what if Farseer is good for, like, Farseer is a unit that's kind of good versus everything, but once it turns on burst fire, it's really good versus high HP targets and really bad versus low HP targets. It still has some AoE, which makes it decent, but yeah, being able to really mess with its damage by having fangs now in the way is making the Typhoons really feel terrible. Or sorry, making his Farseers feel a lot worse than they otherwise would be. Let's go ahead and get a haste module. It's just another device. Devices for Typhoons particularly are great. All 4 of my Typhoons leveled up that round. Level, 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 level. And this one's free. So that's that's an amazing round for scaling for us, because what is our investment this round? It's once again Typhoons. And what just happened? All of my investments leveled up. So all of their investments are more powerful now than they were before. Great start to the round. Another thing we can now do as well is, like, this is going to make my Typhoons push faster. We're simply going to push the line faster now. And if we're going to be pushing the line faster, let's really try to make sure we're protected. And we can do that in a few ways. I could do it with steel balls. I could do it with crawlers. I could do it, like, fangs are nice, but they are kind of slow. So they're great at the start of the fight, but they're not going to really help me when I push forward as well. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to just take multiple steel balls. I'm going to take 3 steel balls. I'm going to do a rapid resupply, because this could be the last round of the game. We're getting kind of low here. Round 8, we're both almost at below 1,000. It's getting kind of low. Let's get Mechanical Division. Let's also level that saber on the left side. And let's get a steel ball on the left. Let's get a steel ball in the back. Let's get a steel ball on the right, on the outside of the Phantom Ray. I don't want the Phantom Ray to shoot the steel balls right away. I want it to shoot crawlers. But now we have steel balls that'll get in there and also absorb shots from the Farseer. And our Typhoons, again, all of them leveled up, so each one of them is killing at a rate that is much faster than they previously were killing. So we're going to be getting through the opponent's army even quicker than before. And now we have more protection than before because we're trying to zone out. Our investments are going into, like, our DPS is the Typhoon, our AoE is the Typhoon, and we're trying to just overall keep them safe from his investment, which is now it's mostly into the Farseer. So let's look at the battlefield for a second. So this game started off with something like this. Delete the Farseers from your thought. Like, no Farseers existed. It was a straight line between the towers and to the side of the tower of Arclight, Marksman, Sledgehammer, Fang. One thing all of those units have in common, they all move less than 10 move speed. 8 move speed Marksman, 7 move speed Arclights, 6 move speed Fangs, 7 move speed Sledgehammers. They all have less than 10 move speed. All very slow. So, and what I'm doing is I said from the start of this game, I'm Typhoon Specialist. I'll just try to make Typhoons work. I'm just going to throw it out there and say this is not the best situation for Typhoons. This opening situation, okay? It's not the greatest for Typhoons. And the reason why is because Typhoons are hard set at 100 range. The only reason why it says I have 115 is because I turned on the tower enhanced range upgrade, like the temporary range upgrade. So what that means is a lot of his units actually have a lot more range than I do. So I have to run into him. I have to run towards him to be able to shoot him. He'll be shooting me first. Typhoons can get picked off pretty hard by a lot of things in his army. The Marksman could pick me off. The Farseers now could pick me off really, really hard. These burst fire Farseers specifically could pick me off amazingly well if they hit me. And like the Sledgehammers, they're not going to pick me off necessarily, but they could take some time to get through, so it buys the other units time to kill me as well. Like, it just doesn't feel good if I'm not able to pressure his DPS that fast, and he gets to have the massive range advantage over me in a situation like this, where I'm also building farther back as well. And my Typhoons are like midline board. These Typhoons are great defensively versus like flanks, but they're not very good at assaulting a board that is siege. However, what did I talk about when that was happening? What can I do before I really go into Typhoons to give me an advantage in a siege board to then make Typhoons feel more viable in a non-siege board? One of the reasons why Typhoons feel terrible in a non-siege, or when it's a siege board, is they have a lot of move speed when you get Mechanical Rage, and they'll tend to find themselves running up to the front of your army and dying if your opponent doesn't have any units that are in the way for me to shoot at. So I'm going to run up there and I'm going to die. I'm going to be running up there with crawlers, and crawlers don't live very long either. The second the crawlers are dead, they look at the Typhoons are going to die, essentially is what that's going to happen. So if I make Stormcaller, like I did, I don't have to do a Stormcaller game. I don't have to go all in Stormcallers now. I can just make a couple Stormcallers that make my opponent stop playing so siege heavy. Or he invests into anti-missile. Like, he does something else with his money. So it allows my Typhoon to have more of an opportunity here. And then, you know, that's left side of the board, mid side of the board, we have some Stormcallers. Right side, he started playing really aggressive. He started playing on the line with crawlers and Farseers. He started playing very aggressive. All of the sudden, Typhoons look amazing. Typhoons look great because at the start of the round, he's instantly in my range. And when he's instantly in my range, when I'm already also protecting the tower, it allows me to stand there and do what a Typhoon does best, kill a bunch of stuff, and not compromise its position because it's not moving, and instead chaff is moving around it. My chaff is instead moving around it. That's why Fangs are so good here. The Fangs are absorbing a shot from the Farseer, and they're not dying. And they're absorbing another shot, and then they're dying. Burst Fire does throw out a lot of shots at once. So some of the Fangs are still going to die regardless. But the Fangs are going to just, in general, take a longer time overall to die. Just because it takes multiple hits now for them to die. And there will if a Fang just exists in an area, it's just going to take a hit. It's fine. It gives them more viability versus everything else here too. That's not just the Farseer. Another thing that's nice about the Fang is they also help the Typhoon by the fact that crawlers are running in and Fangs are shooting at them the whole time. The Fangs are helping kill the crawlers. Some of the crawlers will die because the Fangs are here. And the Fangs are so aggressive, they're almost within the range of crawler. Normally, this is not good for a Fang if they're this close to crawlers, because the crawlers could run into them and kill them really easily and maybe like replicate off of them or something like that. But I have Typhoons behind my Fangs. So the crawlers have no chance if Typhoons are here, because once the Typhoons can shoot them as well, which is right away as well, they just annihilate the crawlers all the same as well. So we have a very good amount of DPS going into his crawlers right away. And then the Typhoons also, once they level up a little bit, they're really able to punish the bigger units too, because once they scale up a little bit, they can really become very formidable, not only in their auto attack, but also in their homing missile upgrade, which can just burst out bigger units as well pretty hard. Because again, these things also scale with your level. Another cool tip for people too, that a lot of people don't understand off by default, because the game is not the best always at giving you UI information. Missiles also scale with like abilities on the unit, specifically the Typhoon. It scales with devices. So a haste module missile here actually scales by 35% damage as well. That also increases the missile. It does not increase the UI card here, but it does increase the missile. One thing I've been saying for a while that I think that they could do to make this really easy is if there was like green numbers, they should put like green font numbers that represent a change from something affecting it. Like it should say, like, if there's plus 35% on the 675, it should be 35% of whatever 675 is. Probably like 200 and something, 250-ish. I don't know, 230. It should be like, that should be in green, and just like a plus that number in green, so you understand, oh, something is affecting this. Well, how is that being affected? And then mechanical rage could just increase that number even more, blah blah blah. I feel like that would just, you know, be nice, but it doesn't really matter, it's whatever. But yeah, the game again was about time, quadrants, time. Like quadrants are covered, our towers are covered. Time is covered vertically. We have lots of stuff coming out at different sections of the board. It's not random. It all developed over time. We started the board off on the left side mostly. It developed into something that we just ran through the whole game, siege into the push of Farseer, which is what we were reacting to. So our left side of our board developed a lot faster than our right side of our board. And then we analyzed investment. What was our opponent's investment previously? It was Arclight and it was Sledgehammer. Why do I say that? Because he leveled up the Arclights and he leveled up the Sledgehammer. Not very big investments. Those are very small, limited investments. Then his investment became crawlers. He leveled up crawlers and attacked me with those. And then finally his investment, there was a Phantom Ray here, but this Phantom Ray never even leveled up once the whole game. Its first round it lived, it did a lot, but every round after that, this Typhoon just started crushing it and crushing it and crushing it and crushing it. And I'm not gonna lie, all this Phantom Ray really did was feed this Typhoon levels with an enhancement module. There's so much experience that each one of these Phantom Rays are worth that the Typhoon is just eating up every single round. So again, this was not a leveled up Phantom Ray. This was a free Phantom Ray he got at level 3 off of the drop, basically. It was very cheap. I think the Phantom Ray cost 100 because I took it as well. So it's a cheap investment. It's not really an investment yet. That's very cheap on his finances. But the Farseers was the investment. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Farseers. And each of them have 3 upgrades active. So he has more investment into Farseers than I do into Typhoons. There is more, because Farseer also costs 300, Typhoon costs 300. He has 4 upgrades, or sorry, we both have 3 upgrades turned on, but he has 3 more of these units than I do. So there is a 900 increase in investment for him in terms of just raw units. And then I also, you know, obviously there's level differences too. He's got 4 level 2 ones and 3 level 1 ones. I have 3 level 2s and 1 level 3. But the level 3 one has had free levels every round. So, but the device, it costs something. So it literally, it still costs 300, which is what these levels have already cost because each level's 150 and there's been 2 of them. So 150 is 300. The point I'm trying to make is, if you're getting confused, I feel like these numbers, I'm throwing a lot of numbers out there, but I feel like it all makes sense if you're following the whole plot of what the game is, which is investment and understanding what is being invested into, and is it good, is it bad, is it protecting what we have. We did a secondary investment towards the end of the game with these steel balls. We added in some steel ball with mechanical division. He happened to also get EMP the same round we did that, so that was good for him, because EMP Farseer can actually turn off the division explosion that happens when a steel ball dies, so that's not great for us. But the steel balls still exist, and they're still acting as a form of chaff that also acts as a hybrid form of DPS if they're not getting targeted right away, and they're actually able to kill Farseers, maybe even themselves. But realistically, our DPS was mostly into the Farseer, and that homing missile really also helped that happen. And we also had advanced offensive tactics. That's a form of DPS for us. Advanced power system. That is a form of help for our DPS because it allows us to close the distance faster on our Typhoons, which have inferior range, because he still didn't make a lot of units, but at least I'm also pressuring him and getting rid of his fangs before my Typhoons get there with my Stormcallers, so I can missile into his Farseers and missile into his Marksmen and his Arclights and bigger units. Everything has a purpose, and this board was a Typhoon purpose. We started off round 1 with it. Our synergies were complementing it. We even upgraded, didn't upgrade the tower, but upgrading the tower, getting level 2 attack on it would be another way to get 24% more damage. So that would be great. Our opponent went for Arclight Research, Efficient Tech, Advanced Shield Device, not damage here. So, we have different investments overall. I definitely have a charge board. My board is rushing him at this point now with our investments here. But I hope it makes sense. Yeah, investments are everything in this game, as we're explaining repeatedly. Okay, probably like 1 or 2 more games, and we'll be at